I'm Melissa Frey. I'm the Executive Director for Johnson County Board of Services.
And I'm Scott Holmberg, and I was honored to be previous Director of Johnson County Board of Services.
Yes.
So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about this beautiful, inclusive park behind us and how it came to be, and maybe a little bit about why it's important for towns like ours to have parks like this.
So we went to the Parks Department, if you recall, big group of us, and we actually brought them $30,000 and said, you know, we'll bring you funds and resources to get this done. It took a couple meetings for them to get all behind because, I mean, let's face it, this is a $347,000 park, okay? And so it's like, well, it's not in the budget. They did want it. I mean, they contacted us, but how do you do that? I mean, we went out and we just kept telling the story. And if you look at how this park was funded, so many different community groups. You have a few big groups like the Johnson County Board of Services, Abilities, others. Bruce Morton Contracting donated the work. I'm gonna forget somebody, so I don't wanna do that, but you can look over at the donor wall and see the different people. But I also recall going to the farmer's market and folks would give me money. I mean, it just became something that the community wanted. So what I'm really proud of is this is a community effort. We had people have lemonade stand. One time at homecoming, we were walking down the homecoming parade and there was a lemonade stand selling lemonade to people marching for the park. We had garage sales, we had people do birthday parties. And so many businesses. Again, I don't want to start naming because I'll get lost and forget, but you know, round up at the store, it was pretty incredible. We raised $200,000 and the city wanted to help us make that final hurdle of getting it all done in one phase instead of two. And so we went to council and council did a match of $40,000 because we needed to raise $80,000. We raised $80,000 in what, 30 days?
I think so. I think there was a really short period of time. What I love about this park is even my friends and families that don't have children with special needs, this is their favorite park. And so they're bringing their kids there. We're bringing our kids that have maybe special needs or different things that they need accessible. And these kids are just playing together. They don't even recognize that there may have been limitations. It's just, how can we have fun? How can we have a good time? My favorite piece of the inclusive park is definitely the swings. It's near and dear to my heart. When we started thinking about inclusive parks and pieces that we wanted to add here, Scott sent several groups out to visit local inclusive parks, kind of like try before you buy type thing. And there's a particular photo that comes to my mind where there's a young gentleman who has some like gait issues that he can't really sit in the swing by himself. So the molded swing like works well with him and he can swing back and forth. And I swear, like, his smile was like $1 million smile. And I think we used that video on like so much of our promotional stuff, because when you see that, you see joy. You see what it means to play at a park and have fun.
So my favorite piece of equipment is over there, and it's a twirly chair. And it doesn't look all that exceptional by itself, but I remember as we were trying to communicate with the community what we wanted, we needed to buy some equipment, and I reached out to Mary Beth Harper at the bank and just sent her a message and said, I need some help, come buy a piece of equipment. And the bank showed up. And so US Bank, Mary Beth Harper bought the first piece of equipment on the playground, and we took those pieces to the community as we were showing, and people could get involved because people like tactile stuff. And so I guess that's my favorite because it represents community involvement early and early buy-in.
Hi, my name is Hannah Beatrix Clark. I'm a local artist here in Warrensbug, Missouri. I actually grew up around the area, out in the outskirts, and I've lived around here pretty much my whole life. When Scott first reached out to me about helping paint the mural and work on the inclusive wall here at the park at Cave Hollow, I was super excited because it was a chance to work at a place where I also love. Me and my son come here and we go for walks, and when they built the playground here, we were very excited about it. So to be able to create something for the children to enjoy was really special for me. When it comes to a sensory wall, it should be something that you can feel and touch and interact with, and what better to interact with nature itself. So all parks include trails and being out by the trees and the flowers, and I myself love flowers very much. And to be able to feel those and touch those and see them is really important. So in my mural, I included all wildflowers that grow naturally here in Warrensburg, Missouri, and in general around this area. And you can feel the veins and the leaves. I put mirrors in there so you can see yourself in the reflection, just like when the water hits the flowers after a fresh rain. To be able to touch them and feel the little bumps on the flowers like in the center, I think that that's really special.
It's not just a park and a physical you stop. It's how do I keep moving the culture forward to more inclusion of folks with special needs.
I'm proud of this park. I'm hopeful for the future that, these kids are going to grow up, and it's going to be like what you said. As new projects come forward, we're thinking how to make it inclusive. It doesn't become an afterthought. It's right there in the beginning. It's just the standard by which we live by.
And I think examples like this are helpful all over, because we know that Holden got on board and built an inclusive park. Now Knoster built an inclusive park. I have personally talked to the folks at Clinton, as they were designing theirs, contacted me. I talked to a lady in Indiana that reached out to me. And so when we as citizens set a positive standard, the ripple effect of that goes beyond